Week number 11, feeling a little bit different than week number 10. I don't know about y'all, but glad to see y'all back here. Shout to the boy Drew. It's your man Suds. Nickel and dime, let's get it.
Shawn, my man.
Drew.
How you doing?
I'm doing good this week, man. How you feeling? How you feeling this week, though?
I mean, I wish Sunday would have been a little bit different, but I'm doing okay. You know?
Yeah. Weirdly enough, I didn't expect it to be, as far as our games, Bucs Panthers. I didn't expect it to be as bad as it was, especially the way that Carolina was playing coming in. But once the Rojo 98-yard TD happened, man, it was
all the energy went
off
out
to the races.
I know from a fan standpoint, I was like, we're done. We're done.
Yeah. Is that's what it seemed like, because it was 17-17 going into the half, and then they blew the doors off. So it just kind of was a culmination, I think, of a lot of things. But other than that, man, I mean, like you obviously still made it, still alive, still pulling through. Back for the people week 11, man.
Yeah, I didn't completely quit football like I wanted to, but I knew this year was going to be ups and downs, and I didn't really expect us to beat Tampa Bay. But I'm more concerned with Mr. Bridgewater,
right?
Seeing how that's going to turn out.
Yeah.
He's hopeful.
It didn't
hopeful. I've never heard that
look
before.
like it was well, hopeful is, I don't know. It seems
I'm saying he's
way
not
more
doubtful.
bleak
He's
than
not
doubtful or
questionable,
doesn't it? Yeah. Hopeful. That is. You're right. That's a little dark cloud hanging over your man. It didn't look like a crazy sack. Like he didn't quite go for the knees, but he, kind of grabbed them and his knees hit each other. I don't know. I mean, I don't play football. I only know what I see, but it didn't look terrible. But to hear that kind of news is kind of off-putting. You know what I mean? It didn't look that bad. So
he's one of those guys that when he takes a hit, you hold your breath. You know what I mean? Just based on the injury history. Like I'm sure you do it with Gronk. History, yeah. You know what I mean? Like if anyone hits Brady in the knee, I'm sure for a split second you're like, but then you're like, so it's
all
scary.
The air leaves your body. Yeah.
You don't want to lose a game and then lose. You know what I mean? So like that's the insult to injury. You don't want that at all. Like
not having a piece that you need going forward that's going to help you win games is the worst. And we kind of know that all too well with losing Vita Vea.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just one game, man. But we had quite a day on Sunday. I mean, to say the least.
Yeah. How do you feel on the other hand? I'm disappointed. I'm scared for Teddy. How do you feel as a Bucs fan?
As a Bucs fan, man, I feel pretty good. A lot more confident than I did, obviously, 7 days ago. But it's kind of crazy how one game can completely change outlook. Yeah. And especially with a big game coming up on Monday against the Rams, I think they're kind of hitting on all cylinders as far as the offense is concerned. We need to tighten up some things on defense. But overall, I think we're in a good position to face a pretty good Rams team, especially beating the Seahawks this Sunday.
I mean, you saw that coming. Good call on that one.
Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah,
I didn't expect them to look like that. You know what I mean? Where did MVP Russ go?
Pressing. It looked like he was pressing, man, to be honest with you. Like the way he was throwing those balls, and like the one dude, Williams, had 2 picks in the game. Like that dude, Ramsey, give Ramsey his credit. He shut down DK Metcalf, but Williams had 2 picks in the game, and they were both like athletic, not supposed to happen interceptions.
Nah,
like if you saw both of the plays. Yeah, he definitely made the play more than the ball came to him. So shout out to him, because obviously we know Russ is a dangerous, accurate quarterback. So he took the ball away. Drew, how did you feel about Metcalf only having like 27 yards, man?
That's crazy, man. Like you hadn't seen someone shut him down like that this year.
No, and Ramsey staking his claim. You know what I'm saying? Like you
I
obviously know what
Ramsey,
Aaron Donald's going to do.
I don't care. I know a lot of people hate him. He probably pisses a lot of people off. We know he pisses a lot of people off. But I mean, I would want him on my team. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Because like you got a lockdown corner, like, and that's no questions about it.
But you want him
like,
chirping
a
little bit.
Lockdown corner.
You know what I mean? You want your corner. Like I loved when we had when the last guy we had like that was Norman. Norman when he was in his prime, his heyday, and you knew the opposing wide receiver wanted to punch him in the face from the time that game started to even later when he was thinking about the game later at home. He still wanted to punch Josh Norman in the face, and you want that in a corner, and you definitely get that in Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, and they frustrate wide receivers is the best way to put it, and took him out of his game. He had a couple of targets, but still like wasn't able to connect, and I think that kind of frustrated him.
Well, I mean, we talked about it,
kind of moving on to another game.
But we did talk about Seattle was kind of one dimensional. Like their passing game was their team. Their defense continued to let them down. They continued to not really have a run game.
Exactly.
So Russ, like you just said, had to put too much on his shoulders, and he forced a lot of passes to Lockett and Metcalf that they weren't there.
And I think, Drew, that was part of the reason why I kind of called the game, because the Seattle defense had been kind of reeling as far as the last couple of games are concerned. And shout to another quick segment we got coming up. I did do my homework on that Seattle defense, got a little something special for y'all, just a kind of a little bit of a deep dive into them. But Drew, that's exactly why I made that call last week. It was kind of a foretelling stat looking at their defense, and Jared Goff, if he has those lanes, if he doesn't have a pass rush, if you can't get in his face, he went to the Super Bowl just a couple years ago. Yeah. So having that kind of a season, he's able to do that to you. So you need to pressure him, kind of get him off his spot. And they weren't able to do that. No. And then the defense complimented him, like you said. So
looked good.
They looked good. They look pretty good, man. And it's gonna be it should hopefully, if you don't get hashtag primetime Bucs, you might be able to see a good game on Monday if the Bucs decide to show up in primetime.
Well,
so we'll see what happens. It should be a good one.
Just random question here for you, because the Cardinals had a fantastic game too. Wow, like that.
Yes,
DeAndre Hopkins catch.
Yeah.
I've been saying Hopkins, it from the time we started this podcast. That is my dude.
Yeah.
He got a coach fired for trading him away. So that's enough said right there. But
they should have been fired, man. He's just continuing, and he does it so quietly, but he continues to make anybody who doubts him look silly, man. And he did it again.
That catch, bro. God,
the Bills,
my jaw was on the ground for a solid 30 seconds. Like me and my wife both just looked at each other like, did he caught that?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
There was three dudes around.
Made you second guess, man. The Bills just could not seem to put them away, Drew.
No.
They just couldn't seem to put them away. And then Kyler kept making magic, man. Kyler kept making magic.
Kyler, man, hats off to him. And fantastic game yesterday. Anytime they had a third and long,
he's electric,
he just right across, and he'd get that first down every time.
Yep. And Drew, I think the interesting thing about that is I want to see, because Kyler, I told you before, I wasn't necessarily a Kyler fan, and he just continues to play the way he plays, the electricity, and I'm very curious to see how he is able to adapt his game as he gets older, when maybe he's not able to do some of those dynamic things. So, but he looks like he has the tools. Obviously
he looks like he could be a pocket passer if he had to be. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I'm very curious to see in a positive way, how he adapts his game as he matures as a quarterback, as a football player, man, especially being so young. So
he's got a very interesting career ahead of him, I feel like.
He does, man. He does. So, obviously we talked about the Rams. We talked about Seattle. Just a quick note, man. Before I get into, honestly, I might have to get a little saucy with this team, man. Before I mention who they are, but first things first, dude, Detroit, pretty good game against the Washington football team. You know what I'm saying? Stafford,
Alex Smith was chucking it.
DeAndre Swift.
Oh man, I just dropped him.
Right?
I just dropped that dude.
Could have put up 390 yards yesterday, man. In a loss. Yeah, I actually won yesterday, so thank God for that, because
that was me.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
That was
Dang.
me.
Well, I only got 3 wins, Drew, and I think you might be 2 of them. So
I finished dead last year. Let me finish dead last again this year.
Yeah. You might have to get a tattoo for that, man.
Oh,
like,
okay.
We need to make a
2 in a row.
in the league.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll accept my punishment.
Yeah, I got you. But no, like Alex Smith had 390 yards. DeAndre Swift finally getting involved. I want to say he was 5 for 5 receptions, 68 yards, and 81 rush yards and a passing touchdown. So
when's the last time you heard a Lions
that man getting involved?
Running back had 81 yards?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So like I think they had over 100 as a team. You know what I'm saying? But they had good balance, and I kind of like to see that. Out of that team, I just want their coach to be able to get out of their way, and it finally seems like they kind of got something figured out.
Yeah.
Now that that's out of the way, Drew, I gotta mention it. How you feeling about Miami, man? Hey,
don't look now.
Miami, baby, getting saucy.
I'm saying 2 weeks ago I had 2 midseason turnaround candidates, and it was Miami and Las Vegas, and they're both 6-3 now, going 2-0 since I said something. So Dolphins look good, man.
Drew. Yeah, 6-3 Dolphins. Like who? I know I didn't. You did not catch your boy saying them boys is gonna be 6-3, man.
Maybe
Listen,
3-6.
That's what I thought. Like definitely. And the crazy thing about it is, Drew, like you remember a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how the NFC was stacked. With teams maybe 9 deep. And honestly, man, if you look AFC, on the other side of the coin now, it's the AFC.
That's gonna be. I'm so excited for this playoffs. Man. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Yes. And the crazy thing about it is, man, I want to say you got 2 teams right now. If the playoffs were to happen right now, I want to say Tennessee out.
Wow.
Cleveland out. They're like right now, those 2 teams are out because of the way things shaking out, and they're good teams. So that's why I mean, like if y'all didn't know that, that's how deep the AFC is right now. And more games be played, man. This NFL season is very exciting. And how about it? I mean, we already quarantined anyway. Like I'm so glad that it's not like a clunker of a season.
We got drama in the NBA bubble. Give me drama in the NFL too, man. I love it.
Lots of drama. Lots of drama. What to make of the Packers, Drew? Like what are we doing with that?
Are they good?
Struggling?
Are they mediocre? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you talked about it last week, man. Soul Searching Sunday. Like this was just lost Sunday then, because like I don't. Are they just messing with us? Are there any like truly really good teams in the NFL right now?
Yeah, and everybody kind of has their warts, man, and that's just kind of how it seems to be. Hopefully, what I can say is, since there is a lot of football left to be played, hopefully you still have teams that are just getting into their stride. And honestly, like if you really kind of play that timeline out, Drew, thinking about it now, maybe that's the case because we talk about it, or they talk about it all the time. There was no off season, thinking about it. So like maybe they're just a little bit behind the 8 ball. The lag is still, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to make excuses or whatever, but maybe there's something to be said for that, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, you talked about Green Bay kind of being like blah. Well, the Green Bay of the AFC, the Colts got a surprise win over the Titans on Thursday. I wanted to ask you this.
Yeah, Philly.
If his career ended today, is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer?
Ooh, if his career ended today,
yeah. Like, does he need a playoff run with Indianapolis to seal his legacy, or is he in it?
I think so, man. I like, because he hasn't really had, like, when you think of Phillip Rivers, playoff success is not typically what you're thinking of. You know what I'm saying? Like, great years. LaDainian Tomlinson got a Hall of Fame career with that man. You know what I'm saying? But like, he wasn't. Gates, Hall of Fame career with that man. So he helped Hall of Famers, but I don't know that he himself is a Hall of Famer, man.
How deep do the Colts have to go to get him on the radar?
To get him on the radar, they got to make a run. They got to make a Super Bowl run.
You think they got to get
to go and be honest with you?
The bowl?
They got to make a Super Bowl run. Yeah, because people, like, when these things tend to happen, especially nowadays, like, people have a recency bias. You know what I mean? So, like,
what have you done for me lately?
As for as much publicity as it would get, Yeah, it definitely be a Super Bowl run. So I think that would get him in, to be honest with you. And then like people will kind of put the rose-colored goggles looking back at his career if he makes that more recent Super Bowl run. So yeah, that's what I say.
Okay, all right. Well, I go from one question to you to another. Does anyone want to win the NFC East?
Man, I really don't know, man.
They're just trading wins at this point. Like, I'll win this week, you win next week.
Yeah. Okay, so like I think in I guess to answer your question, no, but like to ask you to piggyback off your question, like I think I asked you a couple of weeks ago, like how many wins the AFC East? Has your
keeps
answer
going
changed
down,
at all,
man? I say
like,
I hate to say
I don't
it,
know
man.
what it is.
5?
Like, go.
Do they win 5 games?
Is that like? Tell somebody, give me what the money is on that right now in Vegas. Like, I want to know what that line is, right? Like, talking about gambling these days.
Can you imagine
what is that line like? Is it 5?
A
is it
playoff
4?
team?
6?
5-11. 5-11.
Ooh,
the 5-11 Philadelphia Eagles,
5 seed.
Yeah,
let me get the 5 seed, please.
It's looking good. It's
like,
looking
please.
Good.
I don't care if they at home. You know what I'm saying? I would love that, man.
Right. I mean, the real question is it time for Jalen Hurts?
I think so. I really thought about this, coming into, getting the show done today. You know what I mean? Like, is it really time for Jalen Hurts? And Drew, can you honestly see an argument against it at this point?
Because what do you have to lose now?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're dying to get
nothing.
that division championship that's going to be clearly a first-round exit at this point. You know what I mean? Like, why not see what you have with him? I mean, you can make the argument that you don't want to throw him to the wolves. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like, figure it out. We suck. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I can see the argument for that. But Wentz isn't doing it, man.
Well, it's kind of he's not. And I think the thing about it is like when I went back and like watched that game, he just like not only does he look off, but the offense looks off. Yeah. Like the running game looked pretty good.
Look,
like those
Sanders
running backs honestly
good,
can get the job done. Yep. Yeah, they look good, but like, what are you doing around that? What are you doing to help your quarterback out? And I think they don't have that figured out. No. It just looks a little off center to me. I mean, Daniel Jones, if you should have been watching all the tape on him already. Like, like what they do. And they, don't get me wrong, like we did them on Name That Team a couple weeks ago, but like their defense has been good. Yeah. Like they just needed to get the offense together, and they don't have their best player in Saquon Barkley either. I mean, but they do have capable wide receivers. So if at this point, I will say I don't think the Eagles are going to win it unless they have a drastic change. Like the Giants honestly look more likely at this point to win than anybody else.
That is crazy to think Saquon Barkley gets hurt on the first game, first week, and the Giants win the NFC East.
Yeah. They figure it out without him.
Shout out to Chris, my buddy Chris Mara, our resident Giants fan here at Nickel and Dime. Yeah. He is steady on the trade Saquon Barkley train. He campaigns for that every chance he gets.
I'm saying, like, honestly, you have to make a case. And Drew, I was kind of gonna make this point, but like, I mean, with Saquon Barkley, the situation that has happened, it kind of leads to the argument that running backs are replaceable, man. Yeah. And like, I love Saquon, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love the running back position, but do you need to spend that kind of a pick on it?
They're not game changers anymore.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, like you said earlier, man. Just shout out to Alex Smith coming back. That's fantastic. He had a day on Sunday. Yeah. They didn't get the win. Yeah, Detroit. I don't know if you call it a much needed win for Detroit, because I mean, what are they really doing? Mm-hmm. But
right.
They get a win. But I mean,
it was kind of a heartbreaker for Alex Smith. But I felt a little bit bad for him, but the arrow's pointing up for him, to be honest with you, because I think he's the starter going forward, obviously. So, and a juicy matchup with the Bengals, maybe a get right game, but the Bengals ain't gonna go.
They could be scared if they want to be
quietly in the night. You know what I mean? No. Yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking of Washington football team, we got your team's update. Got it from Washington football fan Kelvin Lomax. Kelvin, tell us how you feeling.
Thanks, Shawn. I'm Kelvin Lomax. I'll be your Team Washington reporter. And against Detroit this weekend, we're looking for J.D. McKissic to have a nice homecoming game, returning to Detroit against the Lions that are ranked 30th in rush defense, giving up 140 rush yards a game and 150 rushing yards at home. Also Gibson. We're looking for Gibson to have a good game this weekend. And Cole Holcomb, who's coming in on the defensive side of the ball, starting to pick it up. Ex-Tar Heel, go Tar Heels. And, of course, Chase Young in our defensive line. Sorry if my shirt offends you. I apologize, but I'll always be a diehard Redskin. Let's go Skins. Back to you, Shawn, and the crew.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, so, clearly that was that's what he was looking for going into the game. And to be honest with you, J.D. McKissic didn't have quite a day. He had a touchdown, you know what I'm saying? But, the bigger story definitely was Antonio Gibson. Yeah. Only 45 yards, but drew 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns to help that team. But
so, I mean, that's 3 rushing touchdowns. That's fantastic. You know what I mean? Like, anytime you can get that.
It is for the rushers as a whole. Yeah.
Right. Yep. They get a couple more pieces on defense.
I do feel bad.
They might be all right. Maybe they'll win the NFC East next year.
Yeah, got it. Well, and that's the kind of the crazy thing about it is, man, is they're good in certain spots, but maybe a couple of good drafts, and obviously man, I mean
Ronald drafts some people.
Ron, he'll have a pretty good draft, at least a solid one, a solid draft. So I like the way they're going.
Kelvin,
the owner just has to stay out of the way.
Yeah,
Kelvin, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, the owner does have. I don't know if he'll be the owner much longer, so I don't know.
I wish you could make owners sell teams, like if
you saw the Clippers, basically.
Well,
Jerry, I mean,
he had a little
saw
help
it with the Panthers.
He didn't help himself.
The Panthers had to sell too.
Yeah, Jerry. Yeah, but Jerry also had some issues the way he had to sell it.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, man. Like, is Washington not having those same issues? I feel like, so.
Drew, yeah, they are. Forgot all about that until you just said that. Yep. Yeah, they are having their issues.
Yep.
Yeah, trying to sweep those under the rug. Washington, come on, man. For your fans like Kelvin, man.
Sell
you
the
just
team.
Want to watch a good team play.
Sell the team. Let whoever owns the Capitals, they'll buy it. It'll be fine.
For sure.
They want a Stanley Cup. Yeah.
Monopoly.
Right. Well, moving on. Week 10 is behind us. I got a couple housekeeping notes real quick.
Let's go.
Cowboys quarterback Andy Dalton clears protocol and was at practice, so that's a good sign. Maybe he takes Dallas to the East title. Who knows?
I think we named 3 different teams in like the last 2 minutes
because no one knows
who can win the NFC East. No one knows.
It literally is up for grabs. Anyone can win at this point. Anyone can win.
Yeah.
Stafford got beat up on his hand, but X-rays are negative, so he is hopeful. There's that word again. Hopeful for Sunday.
It's good for him. Hopeful. There's that dreaded hopeful word.
Right. Shawn, we might not like this guy, but you got to give him credit for being a warrior. Drew Brees tried to play with a collapsed lung, fractured. Man.
I mean, This is what I'm saying. Like, is this one of those things that sounds way more dangerous than it actually is? Because everybody's trying to play with collapsed lungs and broken ribs, man. Like, it sounds horrible to me, Drew. Like, it sounds horrible to me.
I've never broken a rib, but I've bruised them before, and that's some of the worst pain I've had in my life, dude. So, like, I get it. They're football players. They're men. They're tough. Sit down, man. Sit down.
Yeah. I had never had that happen to me, but I've heard that it's hard to breathe. Like, take a deep inhale and like inspiration and expiration.
Yeah, I've never thought about my breathing more in my life.
All that stuff.
When I had that injury,
you said what?
I've never thought about my breathing more in my life. Just be like,
yeah. And sleep seems like it'd be hard to come by too. Yeah. And I like sleep. I'm angry if I don't get sleep, man. Like it's so great.
Drew Brees has 17 kids, so he probably doesn't sleep that much anyway.
Does he? Is he?
I think he's only
more
got
kids
3
than Phillip
or
Rivers?
4. I don't know, but no, anything over 2.
Almost
and I'm like,
starting 5
doing?
though. Yeah, almost a starting 5 though.
Yeah,
so that's special.
So we'll see how long he'll be out with that. I'm sure he's not going to play. Like if he pulls some old like Hulk Hogan, let me take up my ribs and come back. You know what I mean? Like get out of here. Take a week off or something. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns. We're just in Jameis's hands now. We're gonna see what he do with it.
Right. We'll see. Man, Jameis Winston. Okay, starting quarterback again.
Right back at it.
There we go. Nick Boyle, Ravens tight end. I saw this happen in real time, and it looked rough. He had a severe knee hyperextension. He's done for the year.
I can't imagine.
No.
I mean, it's completely like blowing it out. Like if your knee makes a reverse L shape, like that is
like it's supposed to have been like this and it's been straight up like that. Nah. So I mean, they already were hurting for receivers. So one of their pass catching tight ends is done for the year. So that can't mean good things for the Ravens.
Yeah. Nah, like I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with that. So, and they're already having some issues as it is. So,
Speaking of issues, I don't know how this gonna hit, but you had to see it today. Antonio Brown allegedly destroyed a security camera and threw a bicycle at a security guard.
And threw a bike. Threw a bike.
The homeowners association deemed it not serious enough to report it, though.
Right, like who? But first, I don't know if it's not true based on how outlandish it is. Like, do you know, like who throws a bike? Like who throws a bike? Like picks the bike up and just chucks it at somebody.
Bro,
like,
could you imagine
awkward,
you're driving home from dinner in your nice gated community? What is that?
Right.
Your new neighbor, former professional football player Antonio Brown. He seems to be in a scuffle with a security guard. And he picks up a bicycle and throws it at the security guard. And that's just your Friday night.
Yeah. I mean, it must be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the crazy thing about it is I think that the bike had to be the security guards, right? Like,
right. Antonio Brown wasn't strolling up in a bike. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not like getting his exercise in on a bike unless he is. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was definitely the security guards. I mean, I hope so. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like he's going to get in any trouble for it. So that's the best part, I guess, for you. That's great for us.
Yeah.
That's great for us. Yeah, because it finally looks like the offense is starting to click. You know what I'm saying? Like at least in the second half, it was. So hopefully we can continue that going forward, and that doesn't happen if we this man's got to miss games. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. Yeah, Shawn, I had a blast doing this segment 2 weeks ago, picking 2 teams that I thought could turn it around mid-season. So I wanted to give you that joy because I'm a care.
Oh, nice. Yes, I like that.
So I want to see what you think. Who you got? 2 teams that you think can turn it around based on what they got coming up.
All right, for the mid-season turnaround, man, I honestly really enjoyed that exercise, like you were saying. So I definitely want to give it my spin on it as well. So for my first team, how fitting that it is that we just played this team, but it is, Drew, your Carolina Panthers, man. I got them with the midseason turnaround. Now, I know it might seem like it might be a little bit of
just
a little gloom and doom right now, especially right with Teddy. You know, maybe being hurt, maybe not being hurt. With the quarterback definitely throws this whole thing off a little bit.
PJ Walker's a beast.
But
we'll be
Teddy's
fine.
not hurt. If he can get back, right now the team is 3-7. But they put a lot of good film on tape, Drew. Like, I mean, I think you can attest to that, even though yesterday didn't look as great. But they've put a lot of good film out there. And I think, you know, as much as 2 weeks ago, almost beating the Super Bowl champs. Yes, that was a loss, but they almost beat the champs. Now, talking about the mid-season turnaround, still a lot of football left to be played. So we got to look at their schedule moving forward, right? the way that they played. Now, you got to keep that in mind, the way that this team has played in those games. Now, prior to yesterday's game, they've lost the last 4 games, but it was all by 1 score and not that many points to be had. You know what I mean? So their schedule moving forward, they got Detroit, winnable game.
Yep.
Minnesota,
we could win.
Right? Winnable game. Denver,
we could win that
winnable game. They got Green Bay. Ugh. Green Bay has played up and down against their opponents. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if they get a couple of things, especially with that offense is consistent. That offense is very consistent on that with that Carolina Panthers squad. Next game after Green Bay, who do you got? Washington football team.
Oh, Ronnie,
winnable
sorry.
game. And then you also have the New Orleans Saints, who they also lost by just a field goal, right? 27-24. So this is what I'm saying. Like, if you look at this team, the way that they have played, they could, right, and exactly. And that, honestly, that is 4 more wins than I had y'all projected at the beginning of the season, is it not? You know what I'm saying? So, like, 8-8 in a first-year Matt Rule team, add a couple more pieces on the offensive side of the ball, like a dominant receiver, maybe a couple more pieces on that defense. Yeah. Y'all right back in the thick of things in the NFC South, which I do not want to see at all.
And then in 2 years, we draft Sam Howell from the UNC Tar Heels, and he's our quarterback for the next 20 years.
Man, you better leave them UNC quarterbacks alone.
He ain't no Trubisky, bro. He ain't no Trubisky.
No.
Nah, my man's breaking records.
No. So
I'm putting it on film right now. Sam Howell will be a dangerous prospect.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch his tape. He's not on my radar right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's not on my radar right now. I'll watch the tape. I'll let you know. He is
a quarterback.
So next team, is he? We gonna see. Next team, talking about a midseason turnaround, you know what I mean? Of the future, team of the future, talking about Sam Howell. He's a guy that's coming down the pipe. This team's here now, and it's the Cincinnati Bengals, man. It's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Right now, they are, they just lost to the Steelers, another team they just lost, but they're 2-6-1, Drew, I believe.
That dreaded tie.
And right. But right now, as far as their passing is concerned, just a couple weeks ago, they were ranked 8th in passing yards per game. And, honestly, I've seen them play. They're a saucy team, man. They are a saucy team. Saucy. They're fun to watch, and, they can shock you in different areas, especially, they just did it. Tennessee, right? They just did that. The Baby Burrows, they're a hard out. You just got to give it to them. They can be hard out. Maybe not yesterday because, a division game, the Steelers know them in and out. So, I kind of tossed that one out the window. That beat down was coming, right? It was always going to be there. But we have to look at their schedule moving forward. So, doing that, after Pittsburgh, right after this, who they have this week? Washington football team. Washington is what it is, but it's a winnable game. Yeah. It's a winnable game for them.
Yeah. It's a winnable game.
Next game after that, who do they have, Drew? Who do they have? New York Giants. Ooh. Winnable game. After that, this team 6-3 right now, so definitely looking more of a harder out than anybody previously thought. Miami Dolphins. After that, who do they have? Dallas Cowboys.
So we get a Burrow Tua matchup?
Game, right?
I didn't know we got a Burrow Tua matchup.
Yeah, yep.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. So right after that, actually, and talking about so we just mentioned Miami. They do have the Cowboys after that. Bengals versus Andy Dalton if he's back, right?
Oh yeah.
That's a little bit of a
with
juicy
the playoffs on the line.
And it is. That's so crazy. Yeah. After that, who do they have after that, Drew? They got Houston after that. No, I'm sorry. After Dallas, they have Pittsburgh. They have Pittsburgh, so that's another probably beatdown coming. Maybe it's not because maybe Pittsburgh has definitely solidified a playoff spot by then, and they're resting their starters. So maybe they can sneak a win.
Quick side note. So quick side note. Do you see?
Go ahead.
How many losses does Pittsburgh have at the end of the year?
Without looking at their schedule, this is just
throwing out a number.
I'm not looking, just throwing out a number. I would say 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 2.
All right.
I'm gonna go with 2.
I'm gonna throw.
And that's without looking at their schedule.
I say they lose once.
Yeah, I can definitely see 1. I'm thinking that the next one comes because they're resting starters.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So like 1 for sure.
They
ain't
caught
going
by somebody.
Undefeated. They're definitely not going undefeated.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And then 2 because they're resting starters. So I say 2. Yep. Nice. But just to kind of wrap this thing up, man. But after Pittsburgh, the Bengals have Houston and then Baltimore. So like that's what I'm saying. Like if you look at the way that this team is played and the way that their schedule kind of lines up, you could get a couple of wins in there, man. So sorry if these teams are kind of looking for the, you know what I'm saying, the Clemson quarterback sweepstakes. You know what I'm saying? Like sorry if y'all are hoping for it, but you know what I mean. I don't think it's gonna happen for you because you're gonna win some games. I'm sorry to tell you. Sorry to tell you.
Sorry to tell you. No, I don't. I think
is what it is.
Yeah, I think there's one team in the running for the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes at this point.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence. I could not think of that kid's name. I could not think of that kid's name.
You know.
I saw his
he
face.
Might go back
I could
to
not
school.
think of his name though.
I'll laugh so hard if that dude goes back to school.
That's just an indictment on the Jets if he does that, Drew. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like
for sure.
What does that say about your organization if a highly touted prospect like Trevor Lawrence is like, I don't want to. Yeah.
No, thank you.
I holla. I'll catch y'all.
I mean, a lot of teams are crushing on Trevor Lawrence, but let's see who we crushing on this Sunday. It's Men Crush Sundays.
Yeah.
How about your defense? What defense you crushing on this Sunday?
So honestly, defense that I'm crushing on this week. So looking at the matchups this week, honestly, this team is playing, and it's just basically a matchup based man crush. But I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings, man. Like against the Cowboys.
Wow. Hadn't heard that defense.
It's just kind of a get right game.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly with as much as they had going on. But I'm gonna take the Minnesota Vikings against the Cowboys, man. It's just kind of it could be a get right game for them, especially if they try to put their names back in the hat for playoff consideration. So, Drew, who do you have for your Man Crush Sunday defense?
I'm seeing a theme here, and it's that we hate the NFC East, but I'm going Cleveland Browns against Philadelphia. I think Myles Garrett's going to eat
muck
Carson
it
Wentz
up
for
NFC East.
You're mucking it up.
Yeah. And he honestly looked good on that chase down yesterday. I thought that the quarterback had a lot of room, and Myles Garrett just chased him down, like running like a hyena, man. That dude is otherworldly,
scary fast.
Bro. Who should we go with next, Drew? Should we do wide receiver?
Okay. Yeah, my wide receiver is Devontae Adams. Green Bay Packers versus the Colts. I think he's going to eat up the Colts secondary.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't give this man enough justice, I don't think. But I think running against that Colts secondary, I just don't know what they're gonna be able to do with him. And then he didn't have as much of a day, so I think he's honestly due the way that he just kind of stacks 100-yard games together.
Yeah, he needs 3 touchdowns to survive.
I think he could. Yeah, and he's just due. He's due, and it. How many fantasy games has he won just off his performances alone this season?
How many games have I lost because I played against somebody who had Devontae Adams?
Yeah. I think it's happened to me twice already.
It's happened to me in 2 different leagues.
I know you have a little bit of more of his disdain for that man. Huh?
A little bit. Him and Dalvin Cook, but I love Dalvin Cook.
I do. It's tough to separate sometimes. But,
it is.
My wide receiver, man, I have to go with the man, the myth, the legend, DeAndre Hopkins, man, against that Seattle secondary, bro. Yeah, I gotta take it. I gotta do it.
Yeah.
It's
not gonna be fair. It's not gonna be fair.
Yeah. And I think he is talking about stacking. He's gonna want to stack performances together too, coming off a catch. He was the highlight of the week. So I think
everyone
it's
was
just
talking
more
about
the same. They're gonna put a game plan around him. Especially Kyler should be able to eat, so get him in your lineups as well, man.
Yeah,
so let's do it.
Everyone on that offense.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, who do you have as your running back?
Ooh. So, finally making his debut this season. I mean, I didn't know if you had gotten drafted, but it's DeAndre Swift against the Panthers, man. I think they finally found a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Like some type of consistency in Detroit, talking about a balanced attack, and that offense can go and be what it needs to be if you have a running back who's able to do it. So I think they try to stack performances together with DeAndre Swift. He obviously can run and pass, run and catch. So they'll do more of that and try to get a W there against Carolina.
Yeah, I think he'll put up some numbers, unfortunately. I got Ronald Jones, man.
Who you got?
I think Monday night against the Rams.
Did not see that coming.
I mean, he got to give him his due. My man is putting up numbers.
Yeah.
And he gets pissed off at himself. If he fumbles or does something wrong, he gets pissed off and has a day. I like to see that.
Well, that's because that man keep fumbling, bro. That's because he keep doing it. God dang. I
was trying to be positive.
It was funny because we were talking about it. I'm sorry, man. Like that's how you know it's like too much of a good thing. Is because like that dude fumbles all the time. Yeah. He fumbles all the time, and he just had like 198 yards, and I'm still pissed at him.
Man. That man can fumble at least once for 198 yards.
Every 200, you get one fumble. That's the going rate for running backs.
You get one.
So just so y'all know. Yeah, but so I guess that leaves us with
QB and tight end.
QB and tight end. Well, as far as Drew, you take the reins on this one. You go tight end first. I'll follow you up.
All right, I got Jonnu Smith from the Titans playing against Baltimore. I think he's gonna. I've started to notice that Tannehill looks at him quite often. So I think he's gonna put up some yards. Especially in a PPR league, like
I got you.
Playing.
Yeah, and it's kind of sucks to see, but like Baltimore is like they love the tight ends there, and
they're gonna give up points.
Hadn't been working, and then the tight end right, and the tight end's gonna go off on them, man. So how ironic is that?
Right.
To be honest with you, I think all of the tight ends in the Bucs Rams game are going to go off, but like specifically, I'm gonna go with Gerald Everett. I'm gonna go with Gerald Everett because last year, when we played them, he gave us problems. And Devin White is a guy who is on a Hall of Fame track when he is moving forward. Like he crushes anything in his path, but he's a little lackluster in coverage right now. So I think Sean McVay might be able to give him a little bit of fits. Honestly, Devin, prove me wrong, bro. Get live 45, man. I'm telling you, like if you can get that right, man, the sky's the limit for you. But I think Gerald Everett might give them problems, and Levante's been a little suspect in coverage too. So hopefully them boys can get right. Yeah.
Okay. Nice, man.
Yep.
Well, who's your QB1?
QB1 this week. Right back at it, man. I'm going Cam Newton, bro. Cam Newton against the Houston Texans.
Really?
I think that I think he's not going to be I think he's not going to want to be shown up by like being the predecessor prototype quarterback who was a rusher passer to Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
I think like
he ain't passing the torch, huh?
Right, he's not ready to. And then like what and Drew, you can kind of speak to this itself, but like I want to say Cam Newton he's a rhythm person. Like if he gets into a rhythm, he got that win, right?
Yeah.
And a comeback win at that. So I think that might breed confidence in him and kind of get that ball rolling the way that it was when they were 2-0. You know what I'm saying? Like they were swagging, they were doing a thing, and then
you got to be swagging a little bit, beating Baltimore for sure.
Yeah, right. That's a huge confidence boost. So I think they kind of double that up and look to have a good game plan going against the Houston team, who Bill Belichick should want. I mean, because honestly, like if they can get over the hump, they can get back to 500 and be
right back in it. Another team in the AFC
trying to vie for a playoff spot. Yeah,
another team in the AFC to worry about.
So this is a big game for them. So Cam Newton might put it on his shoulders, man. So that's why I'm going with the former number 1 pick.
We'll see. I'm going the kid. I'm going
Drew sounds suspect as hell on that.
I love him to death, but I can't put my faith in Cam Newton until further notice.
I'm done with you.
I'm going with Justin Herbert, man. Chargers, they're playing the Jets.
Ooh.
The kid's got an arm on him.
Oh.
He's finding his rhythm. They're not winning games, but he's doing good. So I think
I thought about picking the Chargers in my locks. I was like, nah, it's too easy.
Yeah,
it's too easy. It's too easy. But I do expect him to have a good day, and he's going to be a big reason why that should be a gimme game for them. You know what I'm saying? Because the Jets are the
Jets going Jets. The New York Adam Gaseys.
They still have not fired that dude, man.
Bro.
Like they're out of at this point. I think they're just riding it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out in the offseason. We might as well keep losing at this point. Who knows if they make a change and put an interim coach, you might get like an emotional win. You don't want that.
Nah. At this point, well, and then like I don't think one victory is going to be the end all be all in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. No. Like I think even if they get a win, they'll still be granted his rights.
Yeah, Jacksonville doesn't look like.
I say that because I don't know that he's gonna want to go there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know that he's gonna want to go there, but we'll see, man.
Well, that's
I can't call it, man. But
our crushes. Next up, we got our matchup of the week. What is your matchup of the week? Sir?
So my matchup of the week, honestly, we were just talking about it, but it is the Colts and Packers. It's the Colts and Packers.
Yeah.
Just kind of breaking it down a little bit. Colts, their defense is solid. I mean, not only solid, but like tops in a lot of categories, Drew. They're number one in defensive yards, total defensive yards per game, right? Like number two in defensive passing yards per game, passing yards against. And number three in rush yards against per game. So like that defense is kind of knocking, like they're the strength of the team. It's just kind of the offense maybe holding them back a little bit if Phillip Rivers can't get right. So and then you got on the opposite side, you got that Packers offense. You know what I'm saying? Like Packers offense.
Which one are you gonna get?
Like they're number 6 in the pass number. You said what?
Which one are you gonna get? You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, who's going to show up? So it's a great defense against a good offense. I want to see who brings it. Like, it's going to be more of a game plan, a coach's duel than anything. I believe I want to see the Packers defense kind of come to play. And not only that, but like the Colts are at home, so I think that gives them a little bit of a bump.
Okay.
But the Colts have to have Rivers not muck it up in order, I think, to win this game. So
Hines, man, if Hines
really think it should be a good game.
Yeah. Fun fact about how my fantasy season's going. In one league, I accidentally started Hines. And he went off.
Oh, you accidentally started him?
I didn't check my lineup in time on Thursday, and I probably would have tinkered enough with it and knocked him out of the lineup. So I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, you wound up shocking the world for you, man.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
But that's another thing about the Colts, man, is like they just got to get a little bit more consistent in the pass game. But with the offense as a whole, and then with Phillip Rivers being as up and down as he is, I think that's going to be the game right there. If he can be solid, the defense should bring it home for him. But that's what I got. Drew, who you got for your matchup?
I got the Arizona Cardinals at Seattle Seahawks. Let's see who the team is in the West.
Yeah. Who do you, just before you get into it, Drew, who do you think, or no, actually don't give us your winner yet. Don't give us your winner, but what do you think the key is going to be to the game?
Does Seattle put up any kind of defense?
Okay.
Or is it who can score the most points?
That's got to be the question going in.
Because I guarantee if it's who's going to score the most points, Arizona's going to win that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But if the defense shows
dynamic their offense is?
Yeah, I just think Arizona has more options. You know what I mean? Like, we've clearly shown that Seattle's a 3-man party. You know what I mean? Unless Carson comes back or, like, the running backs get right. Like, it's up to Lockett, Metcalf, and Russ. But Arizona's got all kinds of fun stuff. And Kyler's just a scary – he's becoming a big weapon in himself. So, I think Arizona could – If it goes into a shootout, I think Arizona's got a slight edge.
He's just such a question mark, man. Like, you just don't know what he's gonna do. Yeah. Like, and then I know, like, probably as a corner, you're only expecting it to come out pretty quickly, or the ball to come out pretty quickly, and then like he still hadn't thrown the ball, so then you take your eyes off your man, and then like you're looking back for him, and
it's just too much to
it just
worry
seems
about.
like it's so much to account for. Yep. Yeah, it's too much to account for, man.
And he's a little guy. He gets lost behind these guys. Like, he's got to be tough to keep up.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, I mean, I hate to state the obvious here, but like, they're all wearing the same uniform, so he could be any one of those guys. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. He's just holding the ball behind his back, like, I don't know what's going on.
Right? Yeah, I'm not here at all.
You got to watch the legs, man. The little like the defense probably hears that in their nightmares. Like like, where's he at?
Yeah, I bet like he sounds like Stewie from Family Guy. His little walking soundbite. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like his little legs just a churning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I really think, talking about that Seattle defense, man. Just a quick note, right? Like we were talking about them, Drew. You just said it, that I think that them kind of showing up is going to be the key to the game, because the offenses are going to take it, especially if you just saw that if the Cardinals are the last ones with the ball, might turn out in their favor. But the reason why it's been so bad in Seattle is like so their base scheme is a 4-3 under defense. It's a 4-3 under defense.
I'm a big fan.
Now, this was the team that ran the most base defense in 2019 and have been doing that into 2020. So the big question in the offseason was like, are they going to switch it up, run a little bit more nickel? And the reason why I say that is because if you're in a base 4-3, most teams are running 3 receiver sets, 3-4 receiver sets. So if you're out there with 3 linebackers, you're already at a disadvantage. But to Seattle's credit, this is what they feel. They feel like their linebackers can cover. So that's really been the reason for the change. Yeah. They don't know. They're starting to point fingers a little bit between the defensive coordinator and Pete Carroll, whose defense is it. So it's kind of a little power struggle there. Not only that, but like Pete Carroll's had some for as good as he was on the offensive side of the ball, he was just as bad on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like they have ineffective players who they have drafted for that prototype, what they want in their defense, that have not been effective, haven't been on the field, some of them. So that's just kind of what's going on there, and it has not. They need to figure something out fast, but that's part of the reason why the Cardinals' offense is looking very good going into this game, building on what they have already done. So,
I got you, man. I like it.
Yeah. So I guess that begs the question, Drew. Who do you think takes this game?
I think Seattle gets back on track. I'm sticking with them. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. I think they're going to figure it out.
All right.
I'm going Seattle.
Do you think this the week to do it, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. Adams and Dunlop's got to account for something at some point, right?
Yeah. I think Maybe this is the week, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this is the week. And then Adams,
I know how much you love picking with the Cardinals. I know how much you love picking games.
I know, man. I just can't. I can't. I'm done. I'm off that train. I'm off that narcotic, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. It's just kind of one of those things, like, and this might be the week that if you decide to pick them, that they burn you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
of course.
I can't do it.
Well, let's get into it, man. Let's get into our guaranteed locks. Who you got winning for sure this week?
Ooh. All right, so winning this week for sure. Drew put me on the spot, so I was going to do this last. But honestly, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Los Angeles Rams. I was about to say St. Louis there and get back. Yeah, but I got him winning this week because, like, last week coming off that Carolina Panther victory, what a tale of 2 weeks it was. Yeah. Everything that went wrong went right the next week, and it's good to see Ronald Jones running with confidence. The offensive line, patchwork offensive line. Hopefully, we get Ali Marpet back to deal with Aaron Donald. But I think the offense has enough for that defense, even though the defense of the Rams is coming in strong too. But I think at home, the Bucs get a win. I don't know if it's going to be as high scoring as the 2019 game where we put a 55 burger on them boys with Jameis Winston, but I do think they get it done. So, Drew, who do you got for your win this week, bro?
I think Aaron Rodgers gets it done against Phillip. Picking Packers over Colts.
Okay. All right. That would be a good win for them. You think they
I think they got it. I think, like you said, man. I think Adams is gonna go off. I feel like. I think Rodgers is gonna have one of them crazy 300 yards, 3 touchdown days. So I think they get him against the Colts.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird because I feel like he's about due.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like I feel like he's due for a game like that.
He's got to have that. So, everyone shut up. I got this game every now and then, and here it comes.
The relaxed game. That's basically what it. Every time he has that, it's a relaxed game. It's a relaxed game. Yeah. So all right. So that leads us into our losses. Yeah. Drew, who do you got losing this week, man? Who you got guaranteed loss?
As much as I've been high on them, and they're on a roll. They're 2-0 in the last 2 weeks. I just don't see them sweeping the season. I got Raiders losing to the Chiefs.
Oh, me too.
Nice.
Me too. Yeah. I don't see it for them, man.
Nah, you can't say Raiders sweep the series against the Chiefs. Nah.
Nah, I don't
Patrick
feel that
gonna
in
let
my
that happen.
bones. I don't feel that.
No.
And then like Andy Reid was talking about the buses too. Like he didn't the way they circled
they're pissed.
the stadium. Yeah, that was
Bell's gonna get thrown out. I'm calling it. Bell's gonna get thrown out for starting a fight. He's gonna want to show his teammates.
Little prop bet.
He's gonna show his teammates he's down. It's gonna be a little scuffle. Bell's gonna come out of nowhere and clock some dude in the face. Thrown out, ejected.
Drew, I honestly, I'll put a gentleman's bet on that. I'll put $1 on that he doesn't, because that man does not need any more trouble. So he need to sit down somewhere if that's the case. We can't do it. I'll put $1 on that. Right. He better not get no damn fight. He better not get no damn fight.
He's got to convince his teammates he's down, man.
You do right. You do not need the trouble, my guy. You do not need the trouble.
You need to get that contract again, bro.
Call it, remember? I got the. Yeah. Right, exactly. So I got the Raiders losing just like you do, man. Word. That is that's kind of crazy, man. So Drew, gotta lead right into it, man. Now, just a little quick name that team segment here.
What you got?
Decided to bring out a little saucy stats for you. See if you can get it. So this mystery team is they are top 15. In points allowed per game.
Ooh,
top 15 in points allowed per game.
Okay.
Right? The number 1 overall defense in pass yards against per game.
Ooh.
Right? So they shutting the pass down, Drew.
Okay.
They are shutting the pass down.
Okay.
They are the number 21 defense rush yards against per game.
So they're not letting teams pass on them, but they're letting people.
But they're running.
Okay.
Okay.
Shit.
Now they are the number 17 with the least amount of offensive penalties. However, the same offense is number 28 overall in the league. Ooh. So the 28th total offense.
So got a terrible offense.
Name that team.
Terrible offense. Good against the run, pass. Terrible against the run. Oh, is it the Cleveland Browns?
No. Okay. It is the Washington football team. It is the Washington football team.
Sorry, I put that on you, Cleveland. My bad. I apologize. My bad. So sorry.
Oh man, yeah, that was good.
Okay, all right, Ron, pick it up, Ron.
Get that offense going, man.
Yeah. Well, man, real quick before we get out of here, do you got any step up candidates before we sign off?
Oh, definitely. And this is just, we don't really need to get into it a whole bunch, but stepping up this week is real simple. You let one man catch a pass on 6 hands. It is the 3 defensive backs for the Buffalo Bills. who get paid a lot of money between the three of them.
Yo.
Between the three of them, that's 6 hands. Y'all couldn't swap one pass?
Yo.
Y'all couldn't swap one pass?
How awkward is that defensive back room going to be, man?
Ooh.
Well, that tape's going to come up.
It's going to be super
that
tough.
tape's going to be waiting for him when they walk into that meeting on Tuesday.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. Right there. And this, like, honestly, and as soon as they walk in there, it's just going to be the still frame of the catch.
Oof.
Right? Like the still frame of the catch.
Oof.
They're going to use that in PowerPoint slides. They're going to send in their emails. They already seeing the memes right now. I saw a meme today that had all of the hands. It was just the hands that said, "This is a Jordan commercial."
Yeah. Like, I do love that.
It was just DeAndre Hopkins' hands.
Yeah.
But Drew, like one of those defensive backs was Tre'Davious White.
Yeah. He just
almost
got paid.
Almost arguably the number 1 corner in the league.
He just got that money.
So that's DeAndre Hopkins for you, man. That's DeAndre Hopkins.
I mean,
that's who needs to step it up.
That put to
defense
bed
as a whole, Buffalo as a whole, because
that put together all debate. He is the best in the league right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so, but I just wanted to make sure.
Oh man, but they definitely got to step it up. Buffalo as a whole, man, because they had a lot of chance. They had a lot of opportunities to put that game away, and they didn't. So, that's it from me, Drew. Man,
can't leave it in Hopkins' hands like that, man. That should be every team should be on notice. Don't give Kyler and Hopkins a chance to beat you at the end of the game, because they will.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
and
one
maybe
more
not
thing.
with a Hail Mary this time.
One more thing before we go. I wanted to ask you real quick. If Seattle keeps messing up, who's your favorite to win the NFC West?
Oh, if Seattle keeps messing up, honestly, God, I even hate to say this right now, man, but if Seattle keeps messing up, man, I the way that they looked, I kind of got to say the Rams, man.
Yeah.
Like, I got to say the Rams. That defense looks really good, and I don't know that Arizona has a defense that the Rams does. The offense, yes, but I know the offense can be there in spots for the Rams, and they may get it when they need it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, man. I don't think you can lose to a team like the Detroit Lions and not have some things you still need to work on. You know what I mean? So
true. Yeah, I ain't even look at it that way, but that's definitely true.
I think the
so
Rams
are
patiently waiting for Seattle to keep dropping the ball.
Yeah, and honestly, like, a lot is going to hinge, and it's such a week-to-week league, Drew, because like a lot is going to hinge on what they look like on Monday night against the Bucs. I mean, just for as much as the Bucs could look like crap, the Rams could look like crap too.
Yeah.
So I mean,
battle of the craps.
It's right. It could be. So like, if they come out and fire on all cylinders and play like they beat Seattle, then it'll be a game if the Bucs can match up to that. But it just, who shows up, man. I want to see it. They still got to win games, so they got to continue to win, just like the rest of the NFC West does too.
That's the thing, man. Everyone's got to keep winning.
Yep.
Well, nice. That's our show. We appreciate you. Check us out on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at nickel_dime football. Hit me up on Instagram at laughwithharrison, drewharrison.comedy.com. Shawnee, what you got?
Datcam. At the Kid Suds on Twitter, man. At the Kid Suds on Twitter. And, of course, at nickel_dime football, man. We love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. And we'll catch y'all next week, man.
See you then.